How can someone else sleep with my wife before I marry her? All in the name of tradition. No, I say. I would not accept that. I refuse it. How do you feel about a tradition that a man will first sleep with the girl you want to marry before you, the rightful husband, gets to marry her? Can you accept such a tradition? Well, let us find out. In a village nestled in the heart of Africa, the sun rose each day over fields of gold and green. The people thrived on their customs, but one particular tradition caused a rift among the villagers. That before any maiden could marry, she was required to have intimate relations with the village tester, who is Manga. Manga would test every maiden before her husband marries her. It was an old tradition in the village. It was believed that if the maiden satisfies the tester, her marriage would be a blessing. Manga, who this privilege was bestowed upon, at a time became rude and would oftentimes gloat over his role. He always tries to rub it on the faces of the men that he sleeps with their future wives. And two, some families would bring gifts for him so that after sleeping with their daughter, he will approve of them. This made him very popular in the village tester indeed. But deep down in his heart, he wouldn't want the same tradition to be met on the maiden he would want to marry. He wouldn't be able to stand it when some other man sleeps with his wife-to-be. And this was the reason why he has refused to marry. So he settled with sleeping with other people's spouses, ending unions before they even started. Sometimes even boasting that he has the power to cancel a marriage. And because of this, some of the young men in the village began to resent both the tradition and Manga. Among those who simmered with resentment was Boma, a young man with dreams as bright as the morning sun. He was in love with Fifi, the village's most cherished maiden, whose spirit shone like a diamond. The thoughts of her being with another man before their marriage churned his stomach with anger. No man should lay claim to my bride, he often declared to his friends, fists clenched and eyes fierce. A man must protect what is his, for the lion does not share his prey. One afternoon, Boma sought out Manga in the village square. The air was thick with tension, and a crowd gathered, sensing the brewing storm. Manga, this tradition is an affront to our honor. You cannot continue to claim our women as your own, Boma shouted, his voice ringing clear. Manga looked up, unfazed with a calmness that belied the fire in Boma's heart. Young man, a child does not laugh at the father's choice of a name. This is the way of our ancestors. You want to challenge the wisdom of those who came before us? Boma stepped closer, passion fueling his words. But Fifi is not a piece of livestock to be passed around. A man who does not value his woman is like a bird without wings. I will not stand for this. The villagers whispered among themselves, the weight of tradition heavy in the air. The elders, wise and weathered, watched the confrontation unfold with furrowed brows. There is nothing anyone can do about this. I didn't ask for this. The responsibility of being the village tester was handed over to me. Should I have refused it? No, I intend to uphold our tradition. We came into this world and met it. So who are we to question the gods? Manga replied, obviously enjoying the privilege. Boma was now raging. I will question it. This old tradition has to change. We cannot sit down and watch one person sleep with every girl in this village, all in the name of tradition. And also, Manga, why haven't you taken a wife of your own? Or is it because you don't want anyone else to sleep with your woman? Imagine, you can't even bear to see the same tradition you claim to uphold meted for you. What hypocrisy! Oh, you are jealous that you are not the tester, Manga cut in. Boma, you want to take my position. I know in your heart that every day you wished you have been the tester. Oh, but sorry my brother, I am the chosen one. You are just an opportunist. The gods forbid that I get jealous over the rule of sleeping with every girl in the village when I am not a dog. Don't you ever get tired? Or don't you know that you are carrying curses on you? Boma replied him with a pity look. Manga now stands up, feeling insulted. You dare to call me a dog, Boma? I will teach you a lesson you will never forget in a hurry. That's your girl, Fifi. I will sleep with her and I will tell you about it. And there is absolutely nothing you can do. Manga, I dare you to touch her. You will then know that even though the head of a fowl is small, that doesn't mean that the goat is older than her. Look, my name is Boma, son of Pokiki. I dare you to touch Fifi if you are a man, and I will tell you the story of your birth, Boma declared. Manga left with shame, but decided in his heart to plot against Boma and his love, Fifi. Thank you viewers for watching up until this moment. Please, I want to remind you to like the video on YouTube, share, click the subscribe button, and also click on the notification button so you can be the first to see all my fresh, new, exciting videos. And please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Now, follow me to know what Manga did. And as the wedding day for Boma and Fifi approached, the tension escalated. Days to the ceremony, as the moon hung bright and full, the time came for Fifi to fulfill the tradition. Manga, dressed in his ceremonial robes, approached her, a mix of authority in his eyes. Fifi, you must honor our ways. Fifi, her heart racing, met his gaze with defiance. I will not be a pawn in your game, Manga. Even the smallest bird can break the silence, and I would speak for myself. The villagers were surprised, caught in the storm of her declaration. Boma felt a swell of pride for Fifi's courage, but rage boiled within him. You cannot force her, Manga. I will not allow it. Manga raised an eyebrow, a flicker of surprise crossing his face. And what will you do, Boma? A man who raises his voice in anger is like a tree fallen in the forest. He is heard, but not understood. Boma clenched his fists, desperate. I will fight you if I must. His heart raced, knowing that his love for Fifi was stronger than any tradition. The village elders, sensing the escalating conflict, intervened. Let us not forget the wisdom of our ancestors. When the drum beats of war are heard, it is the old who dance. We must find a resolution. So the elders sat and conversed within themselves and decided it was time to abolish the tradition because it was bringing them more harm than good. Ultimately, the elders decided to strip Manga of his rights, declaring the tradition obsolete. The crowd erupted in mixed reactions. Some cheered, while others mourned the loss of what they viewed as sacred. Manga, anger flashing in his eyes, turned towards Boma. You have sown discord, young man. When a man is in the wrong, he cannot hold the sun from shining. You will pay for this. Manga left, but within him, he secretly planned to sleep with Fifi forcefully. The next day, as he was about rocking, trying to pounce on Fifi, Boma and some young men emerged and held him, and he was brought to the village square. They cornered Manga, their voices rising in unison. You cannot impose your will any longer, Manga. A man who uses force is like a broken pot. No one wants to drink from it. In that moment, the elders made their final decision. Manga would be banished from the village, a consequence for his actions. And as the sun set over the village, Manga walked away, a figure of bitterness against the brightening sky. He turned back one last time, addressing the villagers with a heavy heart. Even the longest journey begins with a single step. You all will regret this choice. And he left. Years passed. Boma and Fifi built a life together, free from the shackles of the past. They often spoke of Manga, reflecting on the lessons learned from his choices. The villagers thrived, echoing with laughter, love, and a newfound sense of unity. And one evening, as the stars twinkled like diamonds, scattered across the dark canvas of the sky, Boma looked at Fifi and said, "In the end, it is love that binds us, not the chains of tradition. A river does not flow backward." And so the village moved forward, a testament to their resilience, understanding, and the courage to forge a new path. The obsolete tradition was forgotten, and the maidens in the village were all happy and relieved. This is the end of the story. Now you can see that some traditions are not in the good of the people. Thank you for watching. Tune in and click on the notification button for my next story. Bye for now.